this is actually this got me pretty excited, right? Just it seemed pretty interesting. So it's from I guess it's typerature.com, and it's an article on variable fonts. And so the idea is that, okay, so let's talk about variable fonts just in case you're not up to speed. Well, variable fonts are, they're the ability to, well, okay, so before, when you would have to, let's say you need to have different weights on your site, you would have to load all those fonts onto your site, right? So so then you're kind of bloating your site with additional fonts that you may or may not need. Just it's just a hassle to deal with, right? And so what would be the solution? Well, they came up with variable fonts, and this has the ability to just put like the thinnest thin font and the heaviest font, and then just have some code that calls up what weight you want. And so you could even, since you have that kind of setup, you can even have like a sliding scale, so you can have the weight kind of fluctuate as you wish. You can set it to events. So let's say if you have somebody scrolling, you can have the text get heavier or thinner. You can do a lot more things with the variable fonts than you could regularly. And so then what this article is about is they took that to the next level. So they took what they learned from variable fonts, and they started making graphics out of fonts. And so think about, instead of having a glyph of a character, of like an A or a B, you have a spaceship. And instead of having the weight shift from thick to thin, you have the wings move about back and forth. You have eyes open and close. You have the wheels of a truck expand, so it looks from a regular truck to a monster truck. Like they really took the idea of these variable fonts, turned them into great illustrations, and then not only that, these illustrations are editable and dynamic, and you can do things with them with user inputs. One thing that was pretty cool is that they have like this cup that has a straw and a little umbrella in it, and then through different sliders you can update the graphic to be whatever you want. So you could have, or you could update the graphic independently with each individual object. So you could have the umbrella open and closed. You could have the straw be a bendy straw or a straight straw. You could have the water, the liquid in the cup, be as big or as full or as empty as you'd like. And it goes on and on. Like they really took this idea of variable fonts and they just blew it out of the water, right? It's amazing to see what could be done. And so I was reading the article about like why would this be even beneficial when you can just have like SVGs that can kind of do this too. And so in the article it says that compared to SVGs, variable color fonts allow little customization but are easier to implement. So when loaded on your page as a variable font, you are able to animate the font and use other inputs such as browser size, a microphone, camera, or gyroscope to adjust the variables. So it looks like what it's saying is that, you know, compared to SVGs, because it's a font, you're able to interact with it a little bit more. So like it says, you could use your microphone or your camera, the gyroscope, to edit these kind of shapes. And yeah, I think it's just incredible. Like I'm solely, I've been waiting for like more and more just progress, more and more just evolutions of design and for the web, and where are we going and what can we do. And this is hopefully this is can be like the next level, right? Just having a lot more just cool interactions with the web. And so they did mention that there are some drawbacks so far. Like right now, it has limited browser support. I think Safari, it says, works best. And sometimes you get kind of like a glitchiness, or it won't render right, or you get like a pixelated version, or sometimes it won't render all the elements. And so it's still kind of a ways away. They're working on it. But overall, I think it's pretty cool. So, Terry, what do you think about, I guess, variable graphics?
Yeah, actually, take a look at the graphics and the fonts with graphics, and it's just awesome. I mean, it's just like lowrider, Bigfoot, lowrider, Bigfoot, using the sliders and stuff, and when pigs fly and they're big and they're small, and it's just it's just amazing of what people can do with technology,
Yeah,
right?
so it'd be great to see what happens. Like there was some stuff going on with the last Adobe Max where they were showing how they can have graphics that kind of adjust through user inputs, right? So for example, if you could have a post maybe on Twitter, and then depending on the likes, it got meant that the graphic would change a little bit. So maybe this could be implemented with that as well. Like maybe this could be the step that actually implements that, or something where just so we can have just kind of more cool stuff on the web. But yeah, so you can find this at typerature.com, and it's called Variable Font Experiments.